Berg here. Today is June 6th, 2018, and we are going to go back to a more traditional format of doing videos here on my channel, and we're going to do some old classic Q&A. So, without further ado, within my course, I gotta plug it out. The Elite Keyword Mastermind at elitekeywordmastermind.com. Link is below if you're interested. I teach you how to find keywords in minutes, if not sometimes in seconds, and I also give you keywords monthly to publish for. So it's like paying to have a printing press that makes you money so that you can pay me so you can pay yourself and pay yourself more and pay me a little bit back. But yeah. So one of our members here, David Kish, I had a coaching session with him last Saturday. Really smart dude. Good to talk with you, David. You had some questions here, and I wanted to answer them for you on video so I can fully articulate myself and give you more thorough answers. So, number one, you ask me, how can I know which demographic would work for a long tail keyword besides common sense? Is there any research method to see which is profitable? For example, Apple Watch versus seniors versus Apple Watch for dogs. So besides common sense, David, how you would try to find the answer to that, it's doing good old-fashioned market research. Meaning you can use the internet, go on a search engine, use Google, and try to figure out for a given keyword or given topic what is going to attract which demographic the most. So let's say if we're talking about slime toys, that's going to attract kids the most. If we're going to think about maybe doing timeshares, kids can't buy timeshares, you would try to market a book on timeshares for an older audience, perhaps a more older, affluent audience, if you want to even find a more specific demographic. So it's just like doing college homework, just good old-fashioned research on your own behalf. I can't just give you the answer to every single topic, or no one really can. You have to do your own research on to what attracts which demographic for a certain keyword. So I think that thoroughly answers number one. Number two, measuring competition is still an obstacle for me. Should I or shouldn't I choose a keyword that has a publishing brand in it? For example, all of the books in Fortnite. If I find a good looking keyword that has 2 or 3 brands published on it, it's still a viable option for me. Good question. That is a good question, David. Well, what I would say to you, as you are still starting out relatively with Amazon Publishing, and you and I have talked about what what books you've put out already, and you've seen the competition you've already faced. Starting out, I would say try not to face against too much competition if possible. You want to get started with bringing in money while developing your skills, the actual mechanics that you'll need to do well with the book. So that means understanding the process of how to produce a quality book, how to produce good sales copy for your book description, what a good cover should look like, and all those factors. So you'll get better as you publish books, and in time you can try competing against more competitors, more other brands. But if you're starting out, you're really not going to know how to produce better content than 4 or 5 other competitors who already know what they're doing. So I'd say try to find easier targets to start out, and then as your skills progress, take it from there. So competition measuring again. How can I determine how big and grounded a competitor author is, or how good or bad the competitor book is? So for example, when I did the book for Yo-Yo Tricks, there were 2 books on the topic that sold quite well, but they weren't very good. When I try to examine the keyword with the authors and books, I feel clueless. So going back to the case study, what I did earlier of Yo-Yo Tricks, there were 2 books. They were actually decent. As books to begin with. But all I did was I saw that these books had 25 tricks or 50 tricks, and my book came out with 75 tricks at the same price point. So I was the person with the newest book of 2017. You could either pay for 75 tricks or pay for 25 tricks at the same price of $5.99. Which are you going to choose? Probably the book with 75 tricks. And I think I mentioned this in my course as well. Several factors that you can use to make your book better than your competitors, whether it's better book cover, better description, more features within the book, more pages in the book, more content, just more material for the reader to look at. Maybe including some pictures in the book, whereas your competitor doesn't have pictures for something that could use visuals. So there is a creative sense to this. It's somewhat of an art. You have to be creative and think a little bit of how to beat your competitors. Find something that is either a weakness or something that can be improved upon, and take advantage of that. That is how you will beat books in the long run. So last question here. Banning from Amazon means permaban. If someone is banned, he or she will never be able to publish ever directly again on Amazon. Okay, so I don't have personal experience on this, David. From what I have seen thus far and from what I understand, there's 3 different segments of Amazon publishing. So you have Kindle Direct Publishing for ebooks, CreateSpace, and ACX. You can have 1 or 2 of the or 3 of them all banned at the same time, I suppose, but usually only 1 or 2 get banned at the same time. Case in point, I know someone who had their account deactivated on CreateSpace, but they were able to keep their Kindle Direct Publishing account and their ACX account. So technically, yes, that person lost all access and all sales to their CreateSpace titles, but technically they could still create paperbacks by using the KDP paperback program on KDP, which of course has its own disadvantages, such as not having expanded distribution, but that would be better than not being able to publish books at all. Secondly, again, I have no experience with doing this, but I would say before you ever get banned, try to set up 2 accounts on Amazon. And the only way to do that is, yes, you can have a personal account, and you can also have a second Amazon account for your corporation. So, for example, I have my personal publishing account for Jacob Rothenberg, and I also have an LLC that I have for my publishing business, but I don't have it yet established as a second account on Amazon, though I could. I could set up, I think it's Rothenberg Blockchain Assets LLC, and set that up with a different bank account from what I have now for my personal use. And I could set that up as a second Amazon account, and if the first one got banned, I believe I can still use the second one. Again, I don't have personal experience on that, but I believe that is legal and proper procedure on how you can continue to publish on Amazon if your first account gets banned. If I'm wrong on that, guys, just let me know in the comments. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's to my understanding. So that's all I've got for today. Tomorrow, what I'm going to do, this is probably going to be a first, I will record a video of myself researching keywords in real time for a good, I'll try to shoot for 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, and you can see exactly what I go through, exactly what's running in my head as I'm doing keyword research, and you'll see, hopefully in real time, it's going to be unscripted, improvised completely, one take, no editing. We're going to try to find profitable keywords in 30 to 40 minutes. Hopefully we can find at least one to make the video worth your time watching. But yeah, that should be a good help for anyone starting out with Amazon Publishing and trying to find keywords. I'll show you exactly what I'm trying to do to find keywords along with how I assess keywords for whether I want to publish a book or even a series on. So stay tuned. Again, that'll be tomorrow. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit the bell. Otherwise, I will see you very soon. Thank you.